When it comes to baby items, there's no shortage of things on the list, but you can save yourself some money and some headache if you get these at a consignment store or borrow them from a friend. Hey everyone, welcome back to Define Motherhood. If you're new here, welcome to our channel, my channel, whatever. I'm Ashley. This is my sister Cass.
Hi.
We both write and run the blog website definemotherhood.com together. So if you have not visited, please make sure to check us out for additional content. We're also trying to build community there. So create a login and connect with other moms, share your advice, your experiences, and your stories. Today we're going to talk about baby items that you should borrow or buy at a consignment store.
Nothing wrong with secondhand.
No. So the first of those items that I would recommend is, and it's really popular, is a Bumbo Seat. So I will say there's a lot of controversy around this because some people think that it isn't helpful. It limits baby's motion too much, or it doesn't place their hips appropriately. I've found that for my kids, it works really well for them as they're getting used to sitting up. So it frees me up a little bit. They're not content with just laying on a mat, you know, and so it frees me up a little bit to cook, so I can, you know, put them in that and they can kind of be part of the action as I'm doing whatever I'm doing, laundry, folding, whatnot. So that for me is a big win. There's also like a tray that comes with it and toys that you can suction to it that are great for them in terms of stimulation and sensory. So I think it's something that could work for you, but some babies like it, some don't. My son loved it. My daughter is like hit or miss. So I would borrow it from a friend or find it at a consignment store. In Georgia, we have like Kid to Kid and Once Upon a Child. Whatever your local version is, it's a really great option.
Garage sales can also be really good places. A lot of these items, though, that we're going to talk about can kind of limit the range or the motion of your child. So you actually don't want to keep them in like the Bumbo Seat, swings, anything like that for more than maybe 30 minutes at a time.
The best place for your child to be is really the floor because that lets them roll, move, practice crawling, all of that. So the more you can give them floor time, the better. I just became accustomed to sitting crisscross applesauce for, like I was in elementary school again. Okay, so just park it on the floor with them.
Yes. Another thing that my son really liked too was the bouncer and the exerciser. What's it called? Activity jumper. Those are also...
I was like, what? Oh, yeah.
Those are also nice just to kind of help keep them upright and give them something to do. Once my son was about 6 months old, he started wanting to, stand on his own, or, obviously with support, but he wanted to be standing a lot more. So that exerciser and the activity jumper was great for him. He absolutely loved those things. First thing we'd come downstairs in the morning, he wanted to go in his jumper and jump around while we were making breakfast. So those can actually be an absolute lifesaver, but they can be kind of pricey. The jumper we got at Once Upon a Child, and it was at least half of what we would have paid brand new, and it was in excellent condition. And that's the thing about a lot of these items is they're used for just such a short amount of time that they don't get a ton of wear and tear. You can easily wash them, wash the inserts. So those are great items. Baby swings are hit or miss. Another big ticket item, potentially big ticket item.
I think a lot of these, like, I would say they're like helpful products, but I feel like the larger an item is, the more hit or miss it's going to be with your kid.
It really is going to be.
So like, my son, he did not like the swing at all. And my daughter now, like, she's open to it, but like in short spurts.
And see, my son, he used a handful of times and then decided he hated.
Yeah. Babies are their own people. I know you think like a baby comes out and all babies are the same until they have a personality. They come out with a personality. And there are things that soothe them and things that don't. And so these types of products, it just borrow it or purchase it secondhand and then, pay it forward and give it to the next mom or sell it back to the consignment store and use that money for something else.
And there's so many good options to get things secondhand. Garage sales, consignment stores, and now there's,
Let It Go,
offer up,
Let It Go. I've watched too much Frozen.
You have. Facebook Marketplace. There's so many different ways to get these items secondhand.
The other item that I would say you should get one, but I wouldn't get it in the traditional sense, is a changing pad or a changing table, because I rarely use the table. I'm usually on the floor changing my daughter, or we have these travel, and I'll link them down below. Skip Hop makes these really great travel changing pads that have like a zipper compartment for diapers and wipes and stuff. So I really just use those. I don't ever really have her on like a formal changing pad to get her dressed.
So what we did was we just got his dresser, which we needed anyways for his bedroom, and bought a changing pad that we just put on top.
To be fair, I'm a smaller person with a bigger child, so
that's true. That is true.
Getting him on the changing pad, I was like, forget this, we're doing the floor. Yeah. And then the last things that I would recommend getting either from friends, like we ended up with 2 boys, so my son came first and then my nephew, and I gifted all of my son's clothes to my sister, and then they made their way back around before we found out we were having a girl, and then even then I was like, this is unisex enough, like we'll still use this. Where they're pajamas, nobody's gonna know if she's wearing boy pajamas at night, it doesn't matter. So definitely if you look at some of these consignment stores, or you have friends that have had kids, or let go or whatever, you can find really great deals on baby clothes. Don't spend so much money on nice clothes. I will say I purchased certain things that were just like, I really wanted a cute outfit for him or whatever. Just don't feel like you need to buy a whole wardrobe brand new. So
seriously, they are not going to wear these clothes for long, especially newborn and like up to 6 months even. You're having to change outfits throughout the day because they blow out, they spit up, that they're not even wearing,
or if they're
the clothes
teething,
for more
it's
than
just like wet.
Yeah, they're only wearing these clothes for a few hours at a time. That they're totally usable for multiple kids.
Yeah, or you just never get around because they grow out of it before you use it. So just cycle them through.
Yes.
And then the other thing we talked about was carriers. So in our must-have videos, you'll see us talk about carriers, and we'll do a video talking about like which carriers we recommend. But even those, if you're not sure what carrier to get, borrow it from a friend. If somebody gives you a good review on something, use it, try it with your baby, even if it's just like at their house while you're hanging out or something. Try it on, use it, see how it works before you invest your money in it. And then the last thing is toys. Garage sales, friends, consignment stores. You can find great toy options that are still sold in retailers right now. It really allows you to kind of give them variation without it being overwhelming and without it breaking your bank.
Absolutely. And most of the baby toys are easily either thrown in the washer because they're soft and you can just throw them in the dryer at, gentle cycle, or line dry them, or you can wipe them off with a bleach cloth. So they're super easy to clean for the most part. But just like, with the carriers and the swings, babies are their own people. From day one, they are their own little people. And so, if you don't have to spend, $20, $30, $40 on a toy for this baby who may or may not like it, that is always ideal.
So those are our recommendations for what you should borrow or purchase secondhand to make your baby prep more budget friendly. If this video is helpful, please make sure to give it a thumbs up down below so we know. If you have any recommendations, sound off in the comments and let other moms know what your recommendations would be. If it's your first time, don't forget to visit us at definemotherhood.com for more content and create a login to join our tribe. And then as always, if you have not yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. And the notification bell if you want to be notified every time that I post. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye.